Alright, we good. Yo, what's good, yo? It's your boy Solo with the What Is a 9 to 5 podcast. And right now I got with me one of New Jersey's finest. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yeah, my name's El, from Jersey. I work in law enforcement for about 6 years, and that's pretty much it, man. I have a family right now, doing my thing. And
Word. Alright, so, as we get started, I gotta ask you how I'm gonna ask everybody on this podcast. What is a 9 to 5 to you?
9 to 5, to me, when I hear that, I just pretty much think of the general job, whether it's career or working a non-salary job. It could be salary or non-salary. To me, when I hear 9 to 5, just work. It could be good, or it could be what some people think is a shitty job to them, whatever job that they have. So, in general, it just means a job, pretty much, when I hear that.
Alright.
Because it's like, the term been used a lot to me. I've been hearing someone say, "Oh, are you gonna go to college or are you gonna work a 9 to 5?" And sometimes the way it's presented, it could sound negative. Like, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I want to go to college or something. You know what I mean? So, but to me, in my perspective, I just think it's like a general job, just having a job, whether it's salary or non-salary.
Word. I think a 9 to 5 now. I'm probably gonna say this a lot. Probably like a mentality now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lot of people stuck in it, like a 9 to 5. I gotta work. It's like you're being programmed just to get up, clock in, to clock out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People do that, but they don't really have nothing. It's like they become a 9 to 5 and nothing else. Like
Right.
Like, but that I think that's really what a lot of jobs where it's really. And you clock in at 9 and you leave at 5, but like some jobs aren't really like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Said that. Yeah, now that you said that, yeah, now I know what you mean. It's like it's kind of like you stuck. Like, not like it's something you have to do 9 to 5. Like the term they will have, like, oh, you working check to check, kind of, in a way, like 9 to 5. It's programmed, like 9 to 5. There's nothing else you can do. There's no outside life. Work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. The same thing every single Monday through Friday, over and over and over and over again. Yeah. It's kind of like you feel like a robot.
Yeah,
the way that you put it, I can agree with you on that perspective.
Yeah, so that would be but stereotypically though, like a 9 to 5 job would be like a McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Not knocking them though, but like a McDonald's or like a little. Whatever you clock in though, but your profession that you kind of surpassed that a little bit. So like, what is your profession? So I can.
Yeah, like I said in the introduction, I work in law enforcement, which is police work. To be more detailed, because I know there's different fields. I know the general terms of what a cop. I don't work in the jail. I pretty much work in the streets, you would say. So pretty much, typical police officer.
So does that feel like a 9 to 5?
In a way, because I have a set schedule and I do the same thing over and over. But generally, I can't say that because how, like you said, it's stereotypically. It's like it doesn't sound like a 9 to 5. It sounds like a career. Like, I can't say, yeah. If someone said I can't, if I'm working in law enforcement, I'm not gonna say, yeah, I work a 9 to 5. It doesn't sound right. I don't know.
That is.
And so I don't know. I wouldn't. So no, I wouldn't say that's a 9 to 5. Feeling like working a 9 to 5. Even though it is like a set schedule, I do the same all the time. But my schedule does rotate, but still, it doesn't feel like I'm 9 to 5. So no, I wouldn't say that's a 9 to 5.
So before I even ask you, but would you go back to let's say like your previous job, whatever your previous job is? Would you let's say if it was the same pay, would you go back to doing that, or would you stay in law enforcement?
If it was the same pay, because I would say my previous job, I worked for Dunbar, which is an armor company. The money trucks pretty much transport money, jewelry, and things like that. If it was the same pay, no, no. That's tough to say because it's like okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
because no, really everything's not about the money. At the end of the day, I think a lot of things is mental, like a peace of mind. So the type of job like we would, for one, it is dangerous because
Hell yeah, dude.
yeah, man, that shit is dangerous because people want that money, they're gonna do by any means. And you see on the news all the time, they just shoot armored truck drivers for nothing. Like instead of just taking the money, they kill them and shit.
That is crazy that you said that though, because an armored truck car actually, a lot of people don't really know. Not a lot about the job. Like I think what people think is just somebody with in the back with like 2 shotguns.
Yeah,
that's all we
got
know.
the gun on the head, the vest, they're good.
Do you feel that he was paid enough to do that?
Absolutely not, man. Fuck that. And it's crazy because, and not even that. Besides the safety, it was the labor part about it. Like we would have to carry. Like some banks, they wanted coins, and these coins they come in like a little cardboard box. They weigh probably like 5 pounds, and you have to carry almost 10 of those in a like some type of bag. And oh man, the labor was crazy. It's like you carrying boxes of coins around, and come home with back pains after working on these hours. You carry to about 10, 15 banks on your route a day, and it's like, yo, when you come home, you feel beat. You're like, oh man.
What's the typical 8 hours?
Well, when I was working there, it was you finish when you're finished, pretty much. So it was up to you. If you feel like you just want to finish the route, go ahead. If you wanted the overtime, to just finish the route if it's a long route.
All right. So basically, after working long hours, over 8 hours, and getting about $11 and some change, it's just too crazy. It's just too crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. Like. I'm telling you, like even during one of the holiday seasons, I had a Manhattan route, Fifth Ave. Fifth Ave got all the big time stores, and we had a drop at Macy's, $500,000, and I'm just walking. I'm just thinking like I'm really walking with $500,000 around by myself, and it's like for $11.50 an hour, walking all over the place with it's like a lot of responsibility. $500,000, a lot of responsibility. For
$11 and some change.
It's just crazy.
And man. I got this much bread in my hand.
Oh my God.
What the fuck am I going to do? It's Christmas time, man.
And that's crazy, man. And you can see, like we're in the truck, you can see the money. It's bagged up, but you can see all these blue faces. And you're like, and you make $11.50 an hour. But yeah, it's working world is crazy.
Yeah, I think you definitely should get paid more. Cause what about when you get attacked?
Yeah, it's like what's the liability of that? It's like, and what's crazy is that I was part time, so I didn't have like benefits and all like that. It's like when you work part time, you're just a body.
No benefits.
So
they hired somebody to transport $500,000 with no benefits. Jobs are crazy, bro. Like I'm doing a segment already.
Yeah, so yeah, you just gotta. I think you just gotta use use it as a stepping stone always, man. Or just talk.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I think it's always best to just try to make the best out of the 9 to 5. I mean, if you have no choice.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. Money makes the world go round. I mean, you can't unless you have a generation of family that's set and you're good. And some people got it like that, man.
I just think you can't get stuck in the 9 to 5 though, because it's easy to get stuck. Like even if I was doing the armored truck job for that much money, but if I had bills, I'm going to do it though. But I think the key is to just get out of that though.
Right.
Like at least try to get a career. I mean, it's better than a 9 to 5 though, but it's just crazy. But as your profession now, as a police officer, and I believe you work in the more urban areas and the suburban areas.
Right.
Like, what is the difference?
I think the main difference is just population because in the urban, I'll just say in the city because the word urban, I think there was an issue with that. So I'm just gonna say that working in the city, working in the city, even though it's a smaller mile radius, the population is high, so the chance of you dealing with people is a lot more. I think just face-to-face time with population is pretty much a big difference. That's because trust me, the same things I deal with in the city when it happens in the suburban areas, it's the same thing, same attitude, same. So it's no
the same. I was I could get it the same.
Yeah, it's just. I think it's just population-wise. I think that's why. Not to go off topic a little bit, but I think just having the more interaction with people in the city causes attention because it's like. I think that's sometimes probably causes attention between.
That would make sense though because I know like in like suburban areas, I feel like in the suburban areas a lot, like let's say like Miss Diane or something like that, she didn't know the police officer versus the inner city.
Yeah,
you wouldn't really
they don't be known because like you said, it's just so many people.
That does have
sense. And it's like I think it's just really with what's the word environment wise because in the suburbs there's parks and there's houses. You pretty much either in the park or you're at home or somewhere. In the city, you have the buildings, and some people just want to go. People just want to chill in front of the building and things like that. And you have people who don't like that, and it's that's why it's just like it's just a big difference. That's pretty much what it is, and that's pretty much the difference to me. I mean, as far as people's behavior and attitude when it comes to them, same thing. If they with noise complaints, they get upset, and I gotta turn the music down, I gotta know better to do, and things like that. So it's the same thing.
They be more bored in the suburban areas, right? I feel like they gotta be more bored in the suburban areas.
I don't know because I think they're more occupied. They have stuff to do because you really don't see a lot of people walking in the streets. Like you don't see anyone going to a store or things like that. So it's weird. So I think maybe I don't know. Maybe they have something to do in the house or they're occupied. So yeah, I maybe not bored, but maybe they're just occupied something to do. Being that they live in this home and there's probably like a whole game station or something, or they go to their friend's house or something like that. In the city, you deal with people who probably have a family, 5 siblings in a one-bedroom apartment. No one wants to stay inside there, so you know what I mean. You get what I'm saying? So you go outside. They rather just hang out outside instead of being in an environment. They go sardine in a house. You know what I mean? So I think that's that's my vision on that.
Alright. So I do.
So when you get like a call or something like that, or you pull somebody over, what do you see from your perspective?
No, it just all depends on what we're getting. Because if you just say, "Hey, it's a bunch of," like, what was a typical call? Hey, it's a bunch of people on the side, gathering on the sidewalk, blocking the sidewalk, and there's nothing else out of that. I mean, to me, I just roll up regular on the scene. I mean, if it comes out, hey, there's someone there's a group of people fighting, and there's a weapon, there's a gun, then we'll approach the scene a little differently. I have to watch who's moving, who's doing what's going on, because the safety is first. So I mean, that's why some people think police officers, feel like some people feel like police officers will get aggressive, like they get there, but like they get there, but like they get there, but get there, but to be honest, you just have to, just set the tone. I mean, without being disrespectful, If I roll scene in a tone where I'm like, all right, everybody, everybody get against the gate, hands out your pockets.
Whoa.
And some people are like, oh, who are you? But they don't know what call we got. It could be DS.
Yeah, true, we don't know.
Some people, it could be whoever just call some nonsense.
So depending on what kind of call you get, like let's say if Miss Jones or something like, oh, they wilding outside, they really not wilding. You guys gotta come to the scene if they were wilding. So for me, like I'm gonna just see like a cop start wilding. That is crazy. So
it's kind of like that's why and there's always a good time. Sometimes and then
we never gonna know though.
The disconnect comes where it don't get to that conversation because
it's never gonna.
Everyone they already hostile. We pull up. They could have just been playing football in the street and they think we coming in and like oh we can't even play. But it's not that. We got something else. We got you guys were rolling dice in the street. We don't know.
That's
like
crazy. So
the truth.
It's the people though.
We come up have conversation. Hey guys, look. But before you get to hey guys, look, it's about you. Then everything already gets to. Then now it's like all right. You start to get a little disorderly now, like,
But I can see where it would get. Yeah, because like if I'm chilling with my boys or whatever, and we just chilling, but somebody called and said we're doing something else, you guys have to come ready. Like let's say they were like as a group of hoodlums or like as a group of people acting hostile or whatever. Yeah, y'all have to come ready for being hostile.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah, because it's like.
I mean that makes sense though. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
I mean, not necessarily. I wouldn't say hostile, but it's like we just have to be on point.
But do y'all have to assess that? Or let's say somebody was like they would be hostile when y'all come there. Do y'all have to assess that before, or you would? I mean, obviously you would still assume that they're being hostile, but
yeah, you still have to assess it. Like, cause like I said, we don't. The main thing is we try to get as much information as we can. It could probably start from here, and then we just make our way down. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Misunderstanding. We got this call that, but like I said, a lot of times just the environment and the tension that's going on. Sometimes you can't even get to that conversation. So some people just already up there, they're upset, and you already being a cop, and they just have that vision like, that's the rock I be burping, man.
Nah, you're good. So. How do you feel about the energy between the people and cops right now?
It's a lot of tension. I mean, it's a lot of tension. It's and the best way I think is just both sides just need to find a way. And it's a very hard task because like I said, we're talking about the whole United States here. Like I have no idea what a police officer goes through in California or in Los Angeles you know what I mean? So it's I don't know everyone's experiences and everyone's experience with a police officer in so many different places. So it's kind of a difficult task, and one of the main things that's why being a police officer. I mean, some people might think like they probably I don't know they say, but a lot of time I don't share a lot of the negative stuff because I understand it. I know what's going on, but I don't like sharing it on social media because that doesn't do any good for the good, you know what I mean? Because everyone sees the bad, that's just gonna put a bad image. Not saying I acknowledge it. Everywhere has bad apples and things like that, But I try not to share those things because it's just gonna put me being in that profession is just gonna look bad on everyone else who's doing a good job in that profession.
Yeah.
And I think, I know it's a lot more good than bad. It's just the bad gets more spotlight than it's.
So how do you feel about like? Cause you can't say like all cops are out here going crazy. How do you feel about like the cops that are like making it worse?
Yeah, I don't like that at all because then all that does is just step the profession back, man. It's like, come on, we the public trusts us, and wrong is wrong, man. And it's like, come on, you know what I mean? It's like you just come on, like just don't do the job. If you're gonna do some nonsense that you're not supposed to be doing.
Do you think being a cop is a job? You know, because a lot of I personally think. My opinion on it is a lot of people are going to do it for the money. Not saying that they shouldn't, but do you think that's a job that you should really have a passion for doing it?
Yeah, because I think the general public just, well, you know, when you think police officers, people just think, all right, tickets, pulling over. It's just a lot more than that, man. It's like you're a therapist, you're a divorce counselor. It's a lot of things you do. And you know, you have to care. If you don't care, then it's like you're not doing anybody any good. It's like try, you know, you just, and the public expects a lot. Be like working in this profession. I get people. I go to calls and they ask me all these questions or asking for this type of help, but I can't help them because I'm like, look, I'm only here to do this, and I don't know. All I can do is provide you with phone numbers and
that's a lot. That's a lot of jobs.
Yeah, and you can't fix whatever it is they're going through now. Like, we can't come there and like fix. Okay, you and your wife have an issue. You found out such and such was cheating. You feel this way out, and we can't do nothing about that. The best thing I can tell you is, hey, and you don't want to tell anybody that. Like, if things aren't working out, I just try to tell them try to find a way where if you guys can't make it work, then the next step is divorce. But no one wants to hear that. You know what I mean? Some people just want to hear it could get better, sit down, talk. But that's not. But it's like we're all in that. You know, it's a handful of police officers, man. Sometimes we get there before the ambulance, and we have to do the first aid stuff. And people dying in front of you. You're like, you can't do. And there's not much you can do because you don't have the tools that's supposed to ambulance have. You know.
But that requires no CPR, man.
Yeah. Yeah, CPR.
But see, the people, they're going to expect you guys to know more than you know what I'm saying, that your job description is. Like, if I see a cop, let's just say like a domestic dispute, and you know what I'm saying, I call the cops, I'm going to expect you to know. I mean, I think people want to expect you to know A through Z, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they expect that. They don't know, I don't think people know what exactly your job description is. What is it that you don't know? We just expect them to say uphold the law. Now, the law could just be mass, and like we expect you to know everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's probably the issue, though.
Yeah, it's pretty much I would say that because a lot of times I tell, like, kind of like a domestic situation. Okay, hey, you said he hit you. Your nose is broken. Okay, he gets locked up.
Oh.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. He gets arrested. That's by law. You know, it's domestic violence.
Yeah.
Physical. Signs of injury, and he gets locked up. Now, from the time he gets locked up, I can't tell you what's gonna happen after that. Everything else is in the judge's hands, and all. That's when court comes into play, and
that's a different entity from the police department.
And I think a lot of people, don't realize that.
That's easy. That people would automatically assume that you know what's going on in the court and everything. How
and
because
even back to the ticket conversation, like there's times where I have to go to court for tickets I issued, and somebody gets dismissed. I mean, I don't. That's everything gets once. It's a whole different entity, like you said.
But that's crazy to me because I can get a ticket from a police officer, but how you handle it is through the court system, which is different. You know what I'm saying?
So
that's crazy. That's why everybody think it's a systematically to put us in a jam because it's like
some people don't get it. They think it's like, wait a minute, but that's I don't know. I think that's just a history thing. You have this level, that level, that level, that level. Yeah. Just like
it's crazy, bro. It's crazy with that shit though, man. But like I said, tensions are high with like just the cops and the people right now though, because it's like a misunderstanding. There's not a lot of It's so crazy now. There's not like a lot. I don't think there's a lot of places we can come like be with the police officers. Like there are like a lot of cool police officers. I see them on Instagram. They be dancing with the kids and stuff like that though. But it's just so negative right now.
Yeah.
I personally think the negative outweighs the positive. Well, it looks like, even if it's not.
And that comes with everything in life to me. I see it a lot. Like,
Yeah.
you can do the good things and that one bad thing, you know. Not even, it don't have to even be bad. It's just how it looks or how the media will put it as, and it's like, come on, man. Yeah, but you know, it's just right now being a law enforcement officer, being a police officer, there's just a lot of light on it. It's like you have to just, I don't know, no one expects you to. I'm not.
Alright, yo. Before I wrap this shit up, man, how would you tell people that's stressing their 9 to 5? How would you tell them, how to relieve some of that stress?
Um, I would probably just say, just try to make a plan for your way out to the next best thing. Because, like I said, my first job was UPS.
Damn.
The Brown. That was at UPS.
God damn.
And, man, I was like, all right, I'm getting the job. I went through the, orientation first.
I make it work for you. I've seen this people work security and yeah, they sit at a desk all day. It's probably boring, but they make it work for them. They probably have their phone, probably read some books, and maybe you don't want to sit at a desk all day. Maybe you'll do something better. But in the meantime, you have a plan, so just kind of like just deal with it and just let it flow. Just have a plan. I think that's the big basic thing that you need very much.